Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Shameen bin SAHMAN. Here I will introduce my group partners. The first one is HAFIZ bin MAZLAN, and the next one is AHMAD HAZIM bin BOHRI. First, I will show you the introduction of our presentation. What is heating device? Heating device are essential appliances used in various settings for providing warmth and comfort. They play a crucial role in residential, commercial, and industrial applications. The purpose of heating device is to generate and distribute heat efficiently. Heating device find application in home, office, hospitals, schools, factories, and many other spaces where temperature control is necessary. They provide heating for space, water, or process applications, ensuring comfort, productivity, and safety. This is the industrial machine that use heating device. The first is boiler, furnace, electric heater, heat pump, and radiant heater. For your information, this is used most in the country that had to through the fall season, which is the summer, fall, winter, and spring. But for the heating device, mostly used in the autumn and winter. For sure, they have a comfort life because the temperature that they want to warm their body and so on. Next, visual of impact of and importance of heating device. The first is boiler. Boiler adds energy to a feed water supply to generate steam. The energy is released from the combustion of fossil fuel or from process waste heat. The next is furnace are used to keep home warm in winter by heating the inside air. During summer, they help circulate the conditioned air from your cooling system. They are very good option if you need consistent air circulation in your home to keep you warm and comfortable. Next, heat pump offer an energy efficient alternative to furnace and air conditioner for all climates, like your refrigerator. Heat pumps use electricity to transfer heat from a cool space to a warm space, making the cool space cooler and the warm space warmer. Next is the electric heater. There's no pollution, and the electric heater use the uniform heating and easy to control the temperature. This is the one that we want to because the real purpose of heating device is we want to control the temperature. Next is the radiant heating is growing in popularity because it's clean, quiet, efficient, dependable, and cost-effective way to heat your home in the winter. Radiant heating is we use the sum of particular thing that used for heating, and there's no end for the heating. And that's all for my part, the first part.
So thank you, Shameen, for presenting this part. So now I will proceed with basic principle of thermodynamics. So basically, why do we need to learn this? Because we want to study how the heating device works based on thermodynamics. Basically, in basic principle of thermodynamics, there is 3 laws. First is zero law. These laws that if two systems are in a thermal equilibrium with a third system, which is this third system, then they are in thermal equilibrium with each other. This means this part and this part, they have a same temperature. So this establishes the concept of temperature and the basis for temperature measurement. So then first law, also known as law of conservation and energy. This law states that energy cannot be created or destroyed, but can only be transferred or converted from one form to another form, which means like heat to electricity and so on. So this related to conservation of energy and the principle of energy balance in heating device. Then second law or entropy. This law states the direction of heat flow and the concept of entropy. It states that heat flow naturally from a higher temperature region to a lower temperature region, and that entropy tend to increase in isolated system. So, first, which law that heating device apply? There is two law, first law and second law. In first law of thermodynamics state that, as we have known before, energy cannot be created or destroyed, but it can be converted from one form to another form. In the context of heating device, this law applies the conservation of energy during heat generation and distribution. The energy input to a heating device, such as fuel or electricity, is converted into heat energy, which is then transferred to the desired space for heating purpose. Heating device ensure that the energy input is effectively utilized for heat generation and that energy losses are minimized. And then second law, it states that any energy conservation in process, the overall entropy of a closed system tend to increase. In the context of heating device, this law is relevant in terms of the efficiency of heat generation and energy loss. So, why do heating devices apply this law? Heating devices aim to minimize energy losses and maximize energy conservation efficiency. This aligns with the principle of the second law of thermodynamics. Insulation materials are used to reduce heat losses to the surrounding. Heat exchangers are employed to extract as much heat as possible from combustion gases. By applying thermodynamic principle, this ensures efficiency, energy conversion, and minimize energy losses and optimize heat generation and distribution process.
And now we know why heating devices follow the three laws of thermodynamics. So from those three laws of thermodynamics, we know that energy transfer and conversion occurs in heating devices. It's very important to understand how energy is transferred and converted in heating devices because it allows us to maximize the performance of heating devices. So how does energy is transferred in heating devices? So there are three methods. So first is conduction. Conduction is when transfer of heat through direct contact between objects or material. So when a hotter material touches a colder material, that's conduction. When the heat is transferred between the hot material to the cold material. Convection is when the transfer of heat through the movement of fluids. So we know that hot air and hot water is less dense than colder water and colder air. So because the hot air is heated at the bottom, so it flows to the top, and the colder air will flow to the bottom because it's more dense. And this allows the heat to be transferred evenly throughout the fluid. So heating devices uses convection to distribute heat through air or water. So, and finally, radiation. Radiation is the transfer of heat through electromagnetic waves. So a good example of this is how the sun heats up the planet. Heating devices emit thermal radiation, which transfer heat energy directly to object or people in the vicinity. So how about energy conversion? So energy conversion comes in many processes such as combustion, electrical resistance, and heat pumps. So combustion processes utilizes fuels, so natural gas, oil, biomass, or coal. So coal is heated, so the chemical energy from the coal or the gas or the oil is converted into heat energy. Electrical heating elements convert electrical energy into heat energy through resistive heating. So resistive heating is essentially like imagine putting a really high current through a very resistive wire, and that will cause a lot of heat to be formed. So heat pumps transfer heat from low temperature source to a higher temperature through using mechanical work, enabling efficient heating even in colder environments. So it's very important to understand how energy is converted and how energy is transferred in a heating device, because it essentially allows us to maximize its performance.
Okay, for this part, I will show you the heat generation in heating device. Okay, in thermodynamics, we learned that how to answer the question by we draw the figures, so we can apply it in this because it is the same. Okay, from this figure we can see the wire is the source. This one, the upper figures is the wire is the source, and device is like heat pump or anything else. Then it will go to the heat sink, go to the heat sink, and we calculate the heat generate from this device. The actually the mechanism is same for all the heating device. Is the from the source to device and to the thing that we want to heat or cool it down. Okay, next, heat generation mechanism. The first is combustion, next is heat pump, and the last one is electric resistance. For combustion, this mechanism is the most common in industry to get higher temperature in making something in future. So as you know that combustion is something that happen if we cut the fuel, oxygen and heat, then and the heat that we want. So from the fuel and oxygen, the heat will generate. And for the heat pump, it's like we use the refrigerator. The heat generates to produce cold air and channel to the house for stay comfort in the hot day. It is for refrigerator or like air conditioner. And next one, electric resistance. The mechanism is good because when the heating device reach limit temperature, it will heat in constant heat, so it's not dangerous if you switch on for a long time. So the electric resistance is when the source give electricity and the coil will heat and the heat will constant.